7, but I'm not sure you're allowed to. It's a restriction or a distraction, they would do. Okay, now as we come onto the racetrack, it's important that you just check your outside mirror as a courtesy to make sure that there's nothing coming on the straight. Take us up into 4th gear. 2 hands on the wheel. Get your hands on it 1/4 to 2, 10 to 2. That's perfect. Okay, line through there. We come straight down on this outside edge now. Get on the brake and get it into 3rd gear. And then we're turning in onto the apex, which is here. And if we just hold the steering wheel, don't move, don't move, don't move, we're going to come straight back to the 2nd point, which is right there. And that lets us come straight out. At that point, we aim straight for the top of the hill. We're on the left edge here, and we want to stay on the left edge all the way around until where the grass nearly meets the bus stop coming in, and that is there. Now we're turning, and the apex to the corner is right there. And we're going straight over the top of the blind crest, and we're aiming for the traffic light, which gets us straight. We're back into 3rd gear. We're turning to the apex at the end of this ripple strip here, which brings us out mid-track and doesn't give us too far to track back. As we come up into this corner, we're following the seam in the middle of the bitumen to about here, and now we're turning and we're picking up the midpoint of that coloured curb, which brings us out nice and sweet down the hill into 4th gear. Now here's where you need to be careful. We're turning now and picking up the middle of that coloured curb, and that runs us out, so we're only 2/3 of the way across, which is where the old track used to be. Check your mirror, make sure there's no one, stay on the right hand side of the road, and as we come down into the kink, we go down. Apex fairly late about here, so we come out not too far to the right, brakes and back into 3rd. 3rd gear, 3rd gear, 3rd gear. Turn now to the apex. A little bit wide. We come around nice in the middle of the track. Now we turn back to the 2nd apex and we accelerate now up to the top of the hill into 4th gear. We stay on the left hand side again all the way around, remembering, keep pushing along a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, we got the there, that's good. Now we go to the apex, which is right here. Now we go straight over the top of the crest, aim for the traffic light, brakes and 3rd, brakes and 3rd, stay out, now turn, go to the late apex point, up the hill now, good, follow the seam in the middle of the road, and now we're turning and we're picking up the middle of the coloured curbing for the apex. We're out to the left edge, and down the hill we go, we're not turning too early. Now we're going to pick up the middle of the curb, we're going to accelerate now, check our rear vision mirror. Into 4th, 5th gear, right hand side, keep going. You turn it onto the apex, it's good through the dipper, through the kink, on the brakes 4th, on the brakes hard and 3rd. Now we're turning. Off the brake there is good, a little bit of throttle through the middle here, lift off again, make sure we get it back to the 2nd apex, accelerate now, up to the top of the hill, into 4th, right, keep pushing on, a little bit more throttle, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, more, keep pushing, turn it over to the apex, give it something now, come on, let's go, alright, keep going, a little bit more. Okay, now hard on the brake, into 3rd gear quickly, 3rd gear. Apex is late here, that's perfect, up the hill you go, nicely done. A little bit of brake and then middle of the track, now we're turning, now we're looking for the middle of the coloured curb. Accelerate now, out to the left edge, down the hill, 4th gear, don't turn too early. Now turn, full power now, let's go. Check your mirror. 5th gear, cross to the right hand side, cross to the right, good. Okay, turn it onto the apex, that's good, good. Okay, hard on the brake 4th, hard on the brake 3rd, push the brake hard, good, off the brake, that's the way, a little bit of throttle in the middle, good. Now turn it back to the 2nd apex, good, accelerate now up the hill, 4th gear, good, keep pushing the throttle a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, good. Now turn it to the apex here, now accelerate now to the top of the hill, left edge, good. Now out you go to the traffic light. Hard on the brake, third gear. Good, now turn it. Apex is here. Perfect, up the hill we go. Good, on the brake again. Stay out a little bit. Now turn it into that middle of the coloured curb, middle of the curb. Good, power on now. Left edge. Don't turn too early, wait. Now turn it, middle of the curb. Accelerate now, let's go. Check your mirror. Fifth gear, cross to the right hand side. Just push on a little bit more and then go on the brake rather than lift off and idle in. Try and accelerate to the point that you brake. Hard on the brake, fourth gear. Hard on the brake, third gear. Good, let's turn it to the apex. It's good, a little bit of throttle out. And then bring it around to that late apex and accelerate up the hill now. Full power, let's go. Fourth gear is good. Stay on the left edge. A little bit more power, a little bit more, a little bit more. You're right, you're going good. Now turn it over to the apex. Accelerate now, let's go. To the top of the hill on the left. Accelerate down to the light. Okay, hard on the brake and back into third. Third. Apex is good, up the hill you go. Excellent, little bit of brake, stay in the middle. Now turn it over, get it to that middle of the curb there. Nice, out you come, left edge, straighten it up. Don't turn too early. Okay, turn it in now, onto the apex, accelerate now. Check your mirror. Good, cross you go to the right. Okay, now get on the brake and settle it. Good, now turn it in. That's nice. Now you're going good. Fourth gear again. Hard on the brake and fifth. Push the brake hard. Good, off the brake. Let it come around. Little bit of throttle in the middle here. Good, then just lift off and get it turned back in. And once you're around, go. Fourth gear is good. Stay on the left edge all the way around to the bus stop. Don't turn it early. Give it a bit more throttle. Okay, we're getting the apex here. Now accelerate now to the top of the hill. Go. Over the top of the hill, straight at the traffic light. Hard on the brake, back into third. Turn to the apex. Good. Up the hill you go. Good. Little bit of brake. Looking for the middle of the road here. Now we're turning to the apex, middle of the curb. Good. Out to the left edge. Down the hill and into fourth. Don't turn early, turn now to the apex. Accelerate now, let's go. Check your mirror, fifth gear, cross to the right. Good, keep driving, keep going. Now get on the brake and settle it. Now come off the brake and pour it in, that's good. Okay, hard on the brake and third gear. Good, turn to the apex. Round you come, nice and smooth, middle of the road. Apex is good. Accelerate now up the hill, up the top into fourth. Turn your headlights on just to let them know that we're coming. Accelerate now across the top, over you come, over to the right. Accelerate now straight to the top of the hill. Good, out to the right, traffic light, brakes third. Good, come around onto the apex, is good, up the hill we go. Excellent, out in the middle is excellent. Turn it now, we're looking for the middle of the curb. Good, out to the left edge, down the hill we go. Knock it into fourth gear, turn it in now and accelerate now. We'll take this guy on the right, go. Fifth gear, checkered flag. Good.
That was really good. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, no problem. Get it on the apex, always practice. Doesn't matter whether the speed's on or the speed is off. Always do what you know is the right thing to do all of the time. So that's the apex there, up to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Just leave it in third. Fourth, that's fine. Left edge is here, which is what we're looking for.
Keep it.
We stay on the left edge till we get to this point here. Now we're turning and we're getting the apex is at the end of that sand and we're aiming straight for the top of the crest. And from the top of this crest here, we're going straight at the traffic light. We're getting the car straight, and then we're brakes in third, and we're turning from here to the end of the curbing right here, and then that brings us out just a little bit right of centre, which doesn't give us too far to track back. We're holding the middle of the racetrack here on this seam, and about this point we've got to turn and turn it over to the middle of that coloured curb, and then the pit entrance is here on the right where the hat is, so turn it in here. That's it.